Okay, let's try again. And this time, not really blow it like that. So just for the sake of the record, grab this for HP memory, because it's on our way. Helps with avoiding virus encounters later. We grab a reg up 1 here, because we're going to be needing 8 reg memory to set Barrier Star as our regular chip. And now we're going to do the tutorial fights. Oh, this is a little rough. No big deal, though. So at this point, I don't want to open up the custom screen again, so I'm just going to buster this Kadama down. Get a Dust Bomb, that's good. No need to grab the second one there. That's free 100% of the time. There was really no need to preserve that counter hit, but I thought I'd try it. Oh, this is not a good hand. So what we want is Dust Bomb. We're already behind on the tutorials, which is unfortunate, but there's not much you can do about it. And the RNG doesn't quite go your way. Alright. It's probably about 15 seconds behind or so. So talk to Mama, don't forget. It is possible to get a firewall before this point, however, I don't particularly recommend it. I need to retime it though. So far, getting pretty lucky on the virus encounter rate here. Sometimes you'll only hit 2 virus encounters, which is very rare. Most of the time you'll hit 3, and sometimes you'll get unlucky and hit 4, and there's not too much you can do about that. That's also free 100% of the time. Probably should have just taken the panel shot. I should have. Oh well. So we should get one more virus fight before we jack out here. Oh, we got lucky. So now at this point, what we're going to do is get the 2 firewalls to help us get through the fridge comps. Talk to Mama. Jack into the fridge. We want to grab a few blue mystery data while we're here in the fridge that are going to help us immensely. The barrier star that we'll be regging later. HP memory. And now we will also be getting the heat data. And now we go next door to Mari's house, where she will give us some antifreeze, and also a copy of Marissa M, which we will hopefully be drawing in the Cyrano fight. You do have to reapply your firewall. For some reason it takes it off of you. So we've got to grab a decent number of blue mystery data here. This is a Recuff 20 star. We're going to be using that for plot progression later. 500 Zenny. A decent attacking chip for this point in the game, even though it's in an odd code. Ghost Body Star is very useful. Gives us invulnerability. For the most part, there's some things that can hit through it. And time for Cyrano. So what we want to draw is Marissa, and we want to have full synchro as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we ended up hitting her, that's good. That should hit her, I think. It did. That's good. So if she steps in the middle, she's going to take a lot. Oops. Bit of a miscalculation there, but that's fine. Ah. Bad play on my part. Alright, we got her. Not the cleanest fight ever, but it worked, so take that. So the times can get into the 7 minutes range if you draw Marissa. So you can clearly see that's a pretty big time save. But there's many more instances in this run where we can have major problems, to put it politely. Oh, a little movement mistake there, that's alright. And now we are going to go outside and have a virus battle with a tank. You won't see the tank, though. Well, you'll see it later, but not right now. Which is a shame. I would like to end this fight with full synchro, but it's not imperative. Yeah, we're just... Oh, we got it. Interesting. That was a surprise. Okay, so now we're going to buy exactly one firewall. And then go home. At this point in the game, we are going to get a Metro Pass, which will allow us to go to Genso University. And the only way to get that is to go to Campus Square. However, we're going to make a small pit stop on the way there. What I'm trying to get out of those green mystery data is Zenny. I need 1500 Zenny from the green mystery data. And the safest place to grind for Zenny is City Area 1, which is where we're going right now. Because the green mystery data here can only contain Zenny, and it only contains 4 different kinds, either 200, 500, 1000, or 2500, and about 1:4 ratio each. So we got 1000 on our first one, that's good. Means we have a 3/4 chance. Oop. Now, there are 2 green mystery data on our path. There is one that isn't, and just for the sake of safety, I'm going to save in front of this green mystery data, so if I get 200 Zenny, I can simply reset and try again. Alright, we got 2500. Nice. So we have this fight going in with full synchro, which is nice. That is quite a lot of damage. And we have the knife chip, which we can use to kill him, hopefully somewhat soon. Or we'll just use this even. That was a very quick fight. So now we'll simply head back to Campus Square and get our Metro Pass. And then we can go to the university. Genso University. But first, we want to use our 1500 Zenny that we have to buy 3 firewalls. Now we're at the university and we are going to acquire the add-on manager. It's fairly simple to understand. Basically, each add-on has both a gigahertz value and a core value. To equip them, you use that many gigahertz and cores. And you also can't have 2 add-ons of the same color. Same color core, that is. The gray ones are perfectly fine. So now we are going to battle one of our friends' navis, Sakuya. And also draw a lot of sword chips. Wait till she stops again. That's fine. You can tell which of those knives is going to fly first because it stops first. Stops spinning, that is. Now, the reason I didn't keep the sword or the knife is because I don't want to use too many sword chips. They will influence the style that I get later. I don't want it to be the style that's associated with sword chips, that being ninja style. Make a very small folder edit because it saves a lot of time. Just trade in Sakuya there. This is shaping up to be a very quick split, actually. I could have waited to keep full synchro, and I probably should have. Yeah, it's fine, we drew Sakuya, so everything is dead. I lucked out there big time. Sakuya's chip is very good, needless to say. Oh, would you look at that? So last fight here in this little gauntlet. I will go with this, that's fine. If anything lines up, we'll get a good shot. That's a good shot to get there. So that went very, very, very well, actually. Time for the incident of Chapter 2. So we're going to meet our friend here at the door, and we find out that the university is flooded with this dirty air. It's not toxic, it's just very dirty. Kind of like in a coal mine, I suppose. So what we need to do is revert the air back to normal by jacking into these purifiers. The reason I'm not using a firewall is because there are 4 of these comps and I only have 3 firewalls, and this one happens to be the shortest. Rather, the one that involves the least amount of walking, so the least chance of virus encounters. Only 1 virus encounter. Wow, that's impressive. Alright, let's get something that can finish that off. Ah. It's a little slow, but that's alright. So we go into Morichika's lab. And I'm going to save here just in case I screw up the movement in this comp, because it's very hard to salvage if I mess it up. So far, so good. Alright, I think we're set. Yep, everything's good. So this fight is, for lack of a better word, annoying. I drew Sakuya, so that's a good start. Now we go to the office. We find out that Ramelia, our friend in the purple cap that we beat yesterday, is on the 3rd floor, and to get up to the 3rd floor we need to register ourselves in the computer in this office, so that is what we're going to do. However, of course, this room is flooded with gas as well, so we have to take out the purifier first before we do that. There's a neat little trick here at the end of this comp. But otherwise, it's fairly normal. The second comp has the hardest movement, I would say. I will save here just in case I miss it. So if you line yourself up with the fan, then you will be perfectly fine. You can actually run straight through. How convenient. Now we can go up to the 3rd floor, pick up this reg up here. And again, I can mess up the movement here, so I'll save beforehand. This should be good. Yep, perfect. The hard part's over. Oh, that was unfortunate. I'm not actually going to be able to make that now. So I missed a cycle, but that's okay. No big deal. You can actually make it back up the way I came if you don't miss the blue mystery data. That 2000 Zenny is relevant because we're going to need to buy more firewalls after this. And now we get to fight Medicine. I'll do this. That's a good start. So as for the reason I'm pumping the Buster, I want fighter style, which means that I have to use the Buster to get damage. I'm glad that she moved back. That would have been a bit troublesome if she didn't. I need that to, I really need that to go away. Alright, she's down. So the White Lily is very toxic, and it'll drain your life pretty quickly. So I need that out of the way as quickly as possible, and she happened to step in front of it, so... Not much else to say about that. It was a very clean chapter. Except for, of course, missing that cycle. So now it's time for everyone's favorite. We're going to do lotto codes at the chip shop. Among other things, of course. And get folder 2, which will supply a number of decent chips to us. And I'm going to put in the number codes real quick. By real quick, I mean it might take me a few minutes. Just 3 more to go here. That should do it. Alright, and we're going to quickly edit our add-ons real quick. So we're going to equip Buster Pack, which will increase all of our Buster's stats by 3, and keep Buster Rapid equipped. You talk to you, and buy 3 more firewalls, of course, and now go back to the university to talk to Professor Morichika, or Dr. Morichika. I don't recall if he has a PhD or not. I'm not sure it's mentioned even. We run into his lab assistant and learn that we need to get an item to unlock this program that was installed in Shanghai. And that is what we're going to do right now. It can be very easy to forget in the run to talk to this pink Navi, so be sure to remember. You do need to talk to her. Otherwise, the Navi that we will be talking to at the end here, in City Area 3, will not appear. And that will have wasted quite a bit of time. I have to make sure not to talk to this guy after I am finished with him, because he will give you a very, very long text exchange. And now, we learn that what we're looking for is the key.bat, and we're going to go get that. For people who are familiar with the Battle Network series, that is the item that gives you the style change, and so that is exactly what we are going to do. But before that, a major folder edit. And we are 1 short, it seems. That's fine. And now let's see what style we get after this battle. Oh, that's really unfortunate, actually. Please behave. Hopefully we get fighter style. That we did. We got Aqua Fighter. Now, if that we're done with this, we go to the university again. To thread the needle between those 2 NPCs. Learn about style change. And now we get to go to Central City's Game Center and test out our newfound powers on, well, whoever happens to be there. There are a few things we want to grab first. Another HP memory. And we want to jack into this great man statue here and get ourselves a crack tool. And now what we're going to do before we have our battle is we're going to jack into the Change Machine comp and use the one crack tool we just got and one crack tool that we got from the Lotto trader to get 35,000 Xenia pop. Give us all the money we need to finish out this run. Go ahead and save here because this fight can sometimes become catastrophic. Whoops. Pretty good whiff there. Alright, that's that fight. A little slow, but not terrible. And we just go home and go to bed. Oh, wait, there is one more thing we have to do. I almost forgot. Buy the Blitzbuster add-on, and now we can go home and go to bed. Time to go to school for the second part of Chapter 3, where we essentially learn about how viruses can be caught and tamed. And so we are going to try and find a way to do that. But we don't know how. So we're going to go search the net for it. It's time for what I colloquially call the long walk, which takes us from Genso Square all the way to Undersquare. But now that we have a ton of money, we might as well spend it. So let's go talk to this shopkeep Navi and grab some HP memories for our troubles. Alright, welcome to AN area. We'll be having some fun, quote-unquote, later in this area. But for now, we're just strolling through, so enjoy the view. What we're doing right now is going to AN Square to find the same orange Navi that we talked to yesterday. He helped us find the key.bat, and we think that he can help us find the tool that can be used to tame viruses. And while we're here, we're going to get the AN Square link. Because we're going to need to be able to come back here quickly later in the game. There is a chance that we could run into a virus encounter in this area. And there it is. And I can't actually run from this very well, so we will just have to fight it. That's unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. Luckily, I drew a good chip to get me out of that fight as quickly as possible. And now we are in Undernet 1. The Undernet in this game, I think, is quite stylish. And we're only going to be here for a very short amount of time. So don't get used to it, I'm afraid. Right here we're going to run into the same Navi who gave us the key.bat. Or rather, had the key.bat and we beat him up. Same difference, right? Not the best draws ever, I'll be honest. Nothing too hard. We're almost to the undersquare, where we are going to buy a minus add-on, which gives us more hertz and cores, but a negative side effect. This one in particular will give us 50 damage every time we open the custom screen. We're also going to buy Ore Sword 2B and Shotgun 3D. 2 Shotgun 3Ds, rather. And we also, in this cutscene, get a Dark Chip, Dark Ray Gun C. And we are going to edit our add-ons real quick. And this will be our add-on setup for the rest of the run. Time for the last part of Chapter 3. And go to school. We have an incident. Welcome to the school comps. The gimmick here is fairly straightforward. When you activate a terminal, that colored pathway will open up, allowing you to reach new areas. It's essentially a maze. Once you learn the solution, these are fairly straightforward. One thing we want to grab in this comp, though, is this sub-memory. So now we can carry 4 of each sub-chip, which will be useful. So we cleared the first comp without any trouble. Now we're going to jack into the fire hydrant comp and stock up on firewalls. Now we can buy 4. And we won't have to buy any more for the rest of the run. We're going to make our last folder edit of the run in a bit. That should do it. So now we are going to go upstairs and complete the final 2 comps here. You can actually just barely jack in from this side of Mari, which is going to be useful, so we'll be going in that door at the end of School Comp 4. The order in which you do these comps does not matter to my knowledge, because they all line up going up to the left there. But this is simply a matter of habit, so I do it in this order. Oop. A little bit of bad movement there. In that cutscene that we just skipped, we were accosted by Rom's leader's Navi, Druid Man. Of course, he was chased off by a net agent who we will become quite familiar with. And we are simply finishing School Comp 4, which will allow us to resolve the incident. Now this is Iku. Iku is free, 100% of the time. Fortunately, it didn't go exactly as I would have liked it to, but that's okay. As you can see, she's very easy. That's the end of Chapter 3, so we will be heading to bed. Time for a hard part of the run, the N1 qualifiers. I would say this is the most difficult segment, for a number of reasons. The first being it's very easy to get a game over in this segment because your folder is locked. Actually, that's pretty much the only reason why this segment is difficult. Oh, we have to say yes to that, of course. We would like to enter. So what we're doing right now is scouring AN area for 4 N1 staff nabbies. We have to beat their gauntlet of 3 virus fights. And then we will be qualified to participate in the N1 League. This is probably the hardest of the Navi fights. That's unfortunate, but we're alright. Our health is a little low, though, to be honest. We won a firearm in this fight, and we got one, which is good. Now, one concern is that we are weak to poison. We are Aqua element currently. Alright, that Navi's down. That's very good. It's just a matter of getting rid of these Pit Vipers, and that's it. So the hardest one's done. There's one in AN Area 3, there are 2 in AN Area 2, there's 1 in AN Area 1. Here's the first in AN Area 2. I happen to think that this is the easiest of them, but not everyone agrees with me on that. So what happened was we were blinded there. Well, that's alright. Good, we got a counter hit going in. This could still potentially be catastrophic, but I think we'll be alright. Well, that was fairly straightforward. I really have nothing to say about that. On to the third gauntlet fight. This used to be the hardest, but it got nerfed in version 0.40, which is nice and convenient. I actually don't need any chips for this. That's good. Firearm is a good chip to have here. I needed to not get hit by that, and that's really unfortunate, actually. Please stay in my row. I am actually in trouble. This is really a problem. Okay, thank you. So, I was made heavy by those grav balls. And when you step on a sand panel and you are heavy, you will in fact become unable to move. So I really needed him to move into my row there, and he did. That was a pretty sloppy fight, to be honest. But you get the general idea, at least. So the last fight is here in AN Area 2, where we will be taking on this Navi right here next to the add-on shop. This one I would say is second easiest. This is a very interesting setup here. So I need to break these beetles' auras, preferably as early as possible. That went pretty well. That was very clean, actually, too. So here, I obviously do not want to attack the mass ligers, and this is a good setup. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright. Well, we made up for it. It was a very, very solid fight there. So now we get to jack out, jack back in, go back to AN square, and report that we have beaten the 4 battles. In these cutscenes, we essentially learn that Medicine, who fled from the air purifiers in Chapter 2, and was being pursued by the net agents for quite a while, ended up becoming Yamame's Navi, Yamame being Professor Morichika's lab assistant. Before I do anything else, I'm going to switch back to folder 2, and then jack out, and we're done. Anyways, apparently Medicine is a good guy now. We'll see about that. We're going to go to AN Town here with Tenshi. Because she caused the incident in Chapter 3, she is going to be questioned by the net agents. And she's got a bit of social anxiety, so we're going with her. Go ahead and grab an HP memory out of this vending machine. And talk to Reimu, who is having trouble getting a drink out of a vending machine, and it turns out, oh, it's viruses. Viruses are to blame, as always. As you can see, fighter style is quite strong. So we help out Reimu and get her a drink, and she invites us to come to the shrine, and Tenshi, after questioning, says she'd like to go too. So now we are going to go to the shrine, which is right up the stairs near the station. Throughout all this, we're missing a bunch of plot, unfortunately. So we get a message to Shanghai that says that Yamame is being attacked by a net agent, essentially. And we are going to go stop that because we think Medicine's a good girl now. This happens to be the net agent that saved us in Chapter 3, to some degree, and thinks that we're colluding with ROM. And obviously we're not. ROM are the bad guys, and we're the good guys, so we have to go convince her the only way she'll listen. Ah, missed a sword, and I forgot I had Sakia lined up there. That's unfortunate. It's a real shame to lose full synchro there, actually. I might be able to do this here. I'm running a little low on health, though. Well, not the quickest fight, but it was acceptable, I suppose. That was a very interesting image there. We need to have that fixed in the future. And now that we're done, we go back home. Essentially, we convinced Raysen, who is Yorhime's operator, that medicine is not to be fought. Now it's time for the N1 tournament. Remember that thing that we qualified for? We're going to complete it now. It's a series of 6 single elimination fights. The grand prize is 100,000 zeni and cruise tickets. And of course we want to win those. This first fight is fairly straightforward, it's not too difficult. Oh, that was pretty quick. Now it's time for Salamandre and his 2 dragons. So the real problem in this fight is the Navi, not the dragons. Unfortunately, he sidestepped that attack there. If we can just pelt him with a few more buster shots, that's good. That was an interesting little visual effect there. So that fight wasn't particularly quick, but it wasn't tremendously slow either. It's passable. I tend to save just for safety's sake. Surely when you get much better at the game, you would want to cut those out. This is Hakutaku Man. He can be a bit of a pain. Hopefully we will be able to do something about that. So that did in fact hurt for a lot. We're just going to go ahead and fire medicine to get some poison damage on his board. Probably kill him faster than we can. Nice and easy. Time for the 4th fight, Seal. His hand's okay, I suppose. Oh, she knocked me out of the Brave Sword there, that's unfortunate. I'm just gonna try to bust her the rest of the way here. There we go. Not the quickest fight, but again, passable. Time for Spannerman, and I don't need to save for Spannerman because he is almost as free as Iku. He follows a fairly simple rule. If you're in the front row, he'll try to hit you with his spanner arm, and we don't want that to happen, of course. Let's go ahead and poison up his board a little bit to get that residual damage. And so you can very easily counter hit him, as you can see. Pretty quick fight. And finally we have Tortoise Man, who I do need to save for. Tortoise Man can be kind of difficult. But as long as you get an early counter hit, you should be fine. That one in particular. Ouch. That's unfortunate. Losing out on damage is always not a good thing, of course. Oh, that'll take care of him. That's Tortoise Man. So now we won the tournament. We got 100,000 Zenny, which unfortunately, because of where we are in the game, is very, very useless. And finally, time for the last scenario of Chapter 4. We need to take Tenshi back to the Net Agent Center again. And we decide to pay Reimu and her shrine a visit. However, something is going to go awry. As it turns out, Reimu's shrine is going to be on fire, and Tenshi, in a fit of heroism, pushes Reimu out of the way of some fire and ends up getting pretty seriously burned. So now we are going to stop the fire, hopefully. The gimmick in this comp is that when these flare-ups happen, you need to be standing on the lightly colored tatami mats, and you will take no damage as such. However, because the flares will not reduce our HP to 0, we don't particularly pay them any mind. If you remember, we had a full energy as a blue mystery data back in the fridge comp, and we are going to use that to restore our HP to full right before the boss fight, which is awfully convenient. Just one more comp to go. I did forget to mention, but I'm sure you figured it out by now. In order to lower the gate to move on to the next area, you need to grab both the Yin key and the Yang key, excuse me. And so now what we're going to do is use our full energy, save, and fight the final boss of the demo. This fight can go either very well or very poorly. That's a really bad start, unfortunately. Basically, anything where he hides behind the burners is something we don't want to run into, of course. This should do most of his health. If he stays in our row, and he did, for the most part. That was a very quick fight, actually. And time is coming up at the end of the 4 boxes telling us about the trial version of the demo. One, two, three, 4 time. That is a new record. Alright.